When was our exposure? When was the timing of our transaction? So in 3 months' time, what was our company expected to do? So you go into the currency market. Somebody tell me, what will this company be expected to do? Are we together? But now here we're saying this is okay, but can you talk in terms of the pound? Express in terms of the pound. Can somebody express this in terms of the pound?
Okay, we shall sell the pounds to get the dollars.
Excellent.
So it's a
Excellent. So this company in terms of the pound, they want the right to do what?
To sell the pound.
Mhm. So what option should you need then? What option do you need?
Put option.
Yeah,
A
put
put
option.
option.
there
A
we
put
are.
option.
There we are. So you've got the answer. Have you noticed? It's as simple as that. You have your answer. You come here, you say it's a put option. The second item, the expiry date. This was a funny question. I'll help you. 3 months. So want an option which just coincides with our transaction. In 3 months' time, you get an option which expires in 3 months' time. We don't want any option after that, no, because our transaction would have been closed. The next item, exercise rate. Yes, please.
Mr. Free, just
Yes.
a quick one. On this one, on the time when you said express in terms of the pound, is it the same thing that applies with the previous on what we're doing in the futures, where what will determine what we do today is the action that we're going to take this side?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
Let us say let's just reinforce that point. So if it was futures, how would you have opened the position? If it was a future, because futures, I would have said that do you buy or sell futures? So what would you have said here? Give me the answer. You take on an
Buy.
obligation to do what?
To buy.
You want an obligation to do what? What is this?
To sell the dollars.
Yes, you want
To
an
sell.
obligation to sell the pounds. So you take on an obligation to sell. You want an obligation to sell your pounds because you'll have pounds. So you lock in yourself that I want to sell my pounds. So it's consistent, sell, and that is why when it comes to options again, it's a put option. You want the right to sell all the pounds that you have so that you can get dollars in exchange.
Yeah.
The person who has asked the question, you are right that what we are doing here is the same thing that did on futures, yes. So in futures, this company would have been advised to take on an obligation for selling pounds. Is that okay?
Yes, I think.
All right. Exercise rates. There are two rates. There are two rates that are available here. What are these two rates that are available here? There's 1.6 and 1.62. These are the two rates that are available here. Let us go. Number of contracts. How many contracts? Number of contracts. Let's go. At 1.60 and 1.62. So let's go. We take 2.4 million, 2.4. You divide by 1.60. Remember, these are dollars on a single pound. So you divide, this become pounds. Then you divide again by the contract size, 62,500. So the first conversion that you do here, you are converting these to what? You are converting these to pounds. When you divide by this now, you want to find the number of contracts. And now here is the rule. Here is the rule. Whatever number you find, just round it down. Round down. $24 contracts. 24 contracts. What of, so if you choose this price, you need 24 contracts. If you choose 1.62, how many contracts do you go for? Let's go. Can you tell me the number of contracts? What rule have I told you? You take 23 contracts. You take 23 contracts. So you have underaged here, and we should demonstrate to you how to deal with this underage. There it was perfect. Yes, please.
So there you don't round off, eh?
Come again?
So there's no need to round off.
No, no,
And
no.
say there's 23%.
Let's get 23.
Okay.
Deal with 23 contracts.
All right.
The difference, and that's a problem of standardized contracts. You may not have a perfect hedge. So the balance, this 0.7, we haven't forgotten about it. We are going to hedge it. If you had rounded off to 24, you are supposed to again to remove that excess. So the best is under hedge and deal with the under hedge.
Okay, I have a question on while we're still on that point.
Yeah.
I noticed that on the futures we were rounding up. On the futures, that doesn't really matter. It only matters here on the options.
The difference is very small. On the futures, the difference, because the lock-in rate is very, very small. And each time when you look at your examiner's comment, you just say, for futures, just round it up and end there.
Okay, that is clear.
That's okay. Now, one of the things that the marker will check, the things that will give you marks here, this one is very important. That also is important. But also where we have got a lot of marks is on the premium. You need to calculate the premium correctly. So let us now calculate the premium. So the premium depends on these two. We have seen that the premiums are different. Okay. At 1.6, what is your premium? Let's come here. Let's check together. Put option 3 months. How much is the premium? How much is the premium?
2.08.
Yes. 2.08 what?
Pence per
These are cents, right? So I want that point to come out. So let's now come here. Let's go. How many contracts? You say these are 24 contracts. And each contract has got how many pounds? So that's the number of pounds. Now the cents per pound is 2.08. And you divide this by 100. So that you convert this to dollars. So these are dollars. When you multiply, understand the math here very well. You've got 24 contracts. You have advised go for 24 contracts. Each one of the contract is carrying this number of pounds. So when you multiply here, you find the total number of pounds. Now that language of cents per pound, each one of these pounds is 2.08 cents. So in terms of dollars, we divide by 100. So this cost then is what we call the premium in dollars. Are we together? In the next one, here, it's how many contracts? How many contracts? 23. But what is the cost now? What's the cost? 3 point?
42 cents.
3.42. Now, you need to convert these dollars. Remember, we're in the UK, so we need to convert these dollars. into pounds. How do you convert? Let's look for the rate. Let's look for the rate. So you find that your rate here. So the rate is here again. You go back to your rates. The banks have to sell you. And when the bank is selling, they're using this number here. This is a bank selling rate. So the bank will sell using this rate. The bank will divide using that. Because this is happening today. This is happening today. So 1.5938 is the amount that you need when you're buying your dollars. You need your dollars to go and pay for the premiums. I hope you get that point, eh? So if that's okay.
A moment there on that point. So do we still use the direct and indirect quotation to determine which spot rate to use?
Yes, you are right. When you go to the bank says, you want what? No, I want some dollars. Oh, dollars. We are selling on 1.5938. So the bank will take whatever number and divide by that. Then you give them the pounds and they give you your dollars. Say the answer is yes, you are right. We have followed that question 9. Because there were two rates here. There were two rates. There was this one and that one. So why did I pick that one? Well, we're at the bank now. We're going to the bank. We want the bank to help us. We want some dollars from the bank. For how much pounds do you pay them? You divide by the smaller number. I hope that is it. Okay. So with that now in mind, let's
Excuse me, Mr. Piri.
yes.
On the premium, will it be safe for me to say every time I'm converting premium, I always have to use the buying rate?
The selling rate.
With that, I'll be buying from the bank. Yes, for the bank it will be the
bank is
same.
selling you. The bank is selling you. So the bank every time will be selling you. Every time, whether you are an exporter or an importer, you need the money to go and buy your rights. So in indirect quotation, let's use the smaller rate.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Is that okay, people? I'm sure we are benefiting from these questions, eh? I'm sure I'm benefiting from these questions. So now let us find out the cost in pounds. Let's work out together. 24 by 62,500 by 2.08 divided by 100 divided by 1.5938. Are we happy with it? So, as I said earlier on, every marker will want to check whether you know how to get the premium. The premium is a very important computation here. Let's ask questions. And an average question on options, you have the same steps. The same steps like what we have here. Now, remember, in that option that I gave you, we said that we had an option to buy dollars at 18 kwacha. You had to decide, isn't it, whether to exercise or not. On what basis? You look at what the market. So in scenario number 1, in the market, the rate was 20. So you say I'll exercise. In scenario number 2, it was 16. You said you want to exercise. So you need to decide whether you're going to exercise or not. You need to decide. It's your right. What will happen in the exam? Most of the exam questions that we have, there's no need. All we are doing is you are demonstrating what would happen at these two. So normally we make an assumption unless the examiner asks you to make a different assumption. But you make an assumption. The assumption that you make is assume that both options are worth exercising. This is the way to move. Assume that both options are worth exercising. That one and that one. And therefore now we can show what is the final outcome. We can show what is the final outcome. Net outcome. So let us show our net outcome. 1.60 and I think 1.62. Okay. So this is our exercise rate. So from the options, what happens? We have exercised. You are selling. What are you selling? You are selling your pounds. Here you are selling your pounds at 1.6, there at 1.62. So how many pounds are here in the first one? These are 24. So you multiply 24 by 62,500. There we are. So this is the amount of pounds that you are going to surrender. This is the amount of pounds that you are going to surrender in this particular case. What of here? 23 by 62.5. So these are the pounds. So now when you hand in these pounds, you sell these pounds. How much dollars are you going to come up with? Let's find out. So we're going to look at it. How many dollars are going to come up with? This by that. So here you're okay, you have got all the dollars that you need. Here you're okay, you've got all the dollars that you need. Mhm. So is there any underhedge here? There's no underhedge. There's nothing. But you paid the premium. How much premium did you pay here? You paid the premium here at 1.6. You paid the premium. How much premium? That's the premium that you paid. What of here? When you sell these at 1.62, what do you have? Look at the situation that we have here. Have you seen the situation that you have here? You have a shortfall. You have a shortfall. Why? Because it was 23.7. 23.7, eh? But we only do D23. That is why there's an underhedge. So when you are at the options market and you give them 1,437,500 at 1.62, this is what you walk away with. You've got a balance. Because what are you looking for? You are looking for 2.4. So there's this balance here. These dollars. How do you hedge this? Hedge them on the forward market. This balance here, which will take you to the total of 2.4, you hedge this on the forward markets. So let's hedge this on the forward market. Forward market, what is the price? We'll come here. The same concept. The same concept here. Again, the bank is still selling. So this is the rate here. So that amount which was not hedged will be hedged using the forward. And this is the rate, 1.5996. Otherwise, you don't have enough money because you round it down. $1.5996. So let's close it now. Let's close it. So this amount will be hedged at 1.5996. So what are your final figures? Your final figures. And here there was a premium . So these are the final costs. These are the final costs of using the options. So if you use an option at 1.6, if you choose that option, that's a cost. If you choose this option here, that's the cost. Now, this format that you see here is standard in almost all questions. Like myself, I'll just be cutting and pasting the same. Each time I come across a question, I'll be cutting and pasting the same. Exercise rate, how much you get from the options, the underage, and the premium. The net outcome will always look like this. Let me have your questions now. Let's have some questions.
Which rate did you use? Again, it is 71 to 50.
Okay. Remember, we had the problem. As we are, because this is happening today. So as we look at our figures, we notice today itself, we know that we only have 2,328,750, but you're looking for 2.4 million. So what do? We go to the forward markets and enter into a contract so that the bank can sell us this money. Now we go back. What is the bank using? The bank selling rate is here, 1.5996. So that shortfall will be hedged using the forward rate of 1.5996.
Okay, nice, understood.
Questions? Let's ask the questions. Let us ask questions. Okay, so that is how we hedge using the concept of currency options. You need to tell us whether it's a call or a put, indicate the expiry dates, and indicate the exercise rate, the number of contracts, the premiums, and the normal assumption is that assume both options are worth exercising. Then from there, you show the net outcomes under the two options. Now remember, you've got two questions. You've got two questions. You've got the question called CMC. So you can go back to CMC now and try it. We can go back to CMC and try that question. Try to set the options hedge there. The other question was the 2016 question. There was also a question on the options on that receipt. Gilbert, that one is a receipt, eh? A receipt of 20 million euros. You try this. You try those two questions, eh? And in the next class, we can review them together. Try those two. Set up the H for those two. All right, this is where we end tonight. We see you on Saturday at 14:30 a.m. Remember Saturday time. Saturday is 14:30. Saturday, please log in.
Mr. P,
Yes, sir.
so is that SCCA revision program on this weekend?
The SCCA revision program for 8 p.m.
Yes,
For 8 p.m. is on Sunday.
so on Sunday.
Us will start slightly late. Our usual class will start slightly late. It will be finishing
Okay.
about 16 somewhere there. So we'll start our class slightly
All
late.
right.
So our class is still there.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
All right, sir.
All right. All right, team, we'll see you on Saturday. Please log in 14:30.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. P.
Thank you.
Thank you.